Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
The last time C.J. Wilson took the mound, he threw a complete game shutout, his first as an Angel, in a dominating effort to beat the Rays. Tonight, he takes the mound again as the Angels wrap up the homestand with a 3-game set against the visiting Kansas City Royals. Solid homestand so far for the Angels. Took 3 of 4 from the Rays. Took 2 of 3 from the Houston Astros. That makes them 5-2 going into Memorial Day weekend. Tonight, first of 3 against the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubers. I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again. C.J. Wilson on the hill, Danny Duffy on the hill for the Kansas City Royals. You got a couple of left-handers, and both have been pretty good of late.
Yeah, Victor, it's going to be a lot of fun watching these two compete. Both have been very, very good of late. Danny Duffy had a perfect game going for 6 2/3 last time out. C.J. Wilson last time out, a shutout, 5-hit shutout, second career shutout for C.J. Wilson. Duffy's fastball, 92-97 curveball. Changeup, very, very good fastball, goes upstairs at 97. We'll sink that at 92. CJ's been very good in his career versus the Royals, and he's been on a roll of late. He's been able to keep the ball down, and we talked about it a lot, Victor, during the course of his games of late. His pace has been better. The defense behind him much better because they're on their toes, and he's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, and his breaking ball, he's able to throw to get back in the counts and get swing and miss down against right-handed batters.
The Angels did make a move today. Sean Burnett is in the bullpen for the first time since May of last year. Efren Navarro was optioned down. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. By Jack in the Box. Try the new Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Hyundai. The countdown to savings is on now at Hyundai's Memorial Day sales event. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
clothes that fit just right, and the radio up. I like to see sunrise, see love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of my pressure.
Just some of the good things that the Angels have seen on this homestand, and because of the 5-2 record thus far, the Halos now game over 500 here at home at 13-12. Overall, they are 26-20, 3.5 back of the Oakland Athletics at the start of the day. And we'll see how the Angels fare against this Kansas City Royals team, a team that a lot of expectations in the American League Central, but have yet to live up to them from an offensive standpoint. The pitching has been there for Kansas City. The offense has yet to click.
Yeah, not a lot of power in their offense. They haven't been consistent with runners in scoring position. Hopefully CJ will keep that a problem for Kansas City, be able to get some quick outs and get deep in the game once again.
CJ and the Halos taking the field, and we will take a look at Ned Yost and his starting nine for the Kansas City Royals, who roll into town with a 23-23 record. They find themselves 5.5 back in the American League Central and in third place at the start of the day. Nori Aoki is leading things off in right field. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. Eric Hosmer at first. Billy Butler the DH. Alex Gordon Bartling in left. Danny Valencia at third base. Lorenzo Cain is the speedy center fielder. Pedro Siriaco, the former Red Sox and Padres at second base. And Brett Hayes, another Southern California product, is behind the plate. Taking on C.J. Wilson, who comes into tonight's action with a 5-3 record and a 3.16 ERA after that CG the other night.
Yeah, he's a guy that will go deep in the game, will throw a number of pitches, 61 punch-outs and 62 2/3. And for CJ to be successful against Kansas City, use your off-speed pitch. This Royal club likes to hit the fastball, and in very times to the plate, they will be aggressive and try to steal because they lack the power. They will try to manufacture runs.
Defensively for the Angels, behind C.J. Wilson, you have Grant Green at left, Mike Trout back in the lineup, he's in center, Colin Cowgill in right. It's an all right-handed lineup. David Freese, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols around the infield from third to first, with Chris Iannetta behind the plate.
And with C.J. on the mound, a lot of activity in the infield, especially with the potential for double play balls. Howie only one earned his last 35 starts at second base. He's been very good as far as turning double plays and good range both to the glove side and the backhand.
CJ in that start against the Tampa Bay Rays threw 127 pitches. Gave up 5 hits in 9 innings, and really the only hiccup that he had was that 7th inning. If you recall, he was at 74 pitches going into that 7th inning against the Rays, and that inning kind of blew up on him. Command was an issue. Ended up having a base-loaded 1-out situation. Mike Butcher came out, said the magical words, through one pitch of James Loney, got a double play ball, and then the rest was in cruise control.
And he got a double play against a guy who has great numbers at that point with runners in scoring position. Mike Butcher said, hey, get a ground ball at an infielder, get a double play, and that's what CJ did. And then he went on cruise control. Then the velocity on his fastball even got better in the 8th and 9th innings.
They became a different guy in the 8th and 9th innings, picking up a couple of strikeouts. 6 up and 6 down in those last 2 innings. And we'll see if he's capable of doing that again tonight. Tonight's first pitch being delivered by Shumash Casino Resort. Nori Aoki, the right fielder, leading things off, hitting .271. And he promptly looks at a strike.
Aoki's a guy that will see a lot of pitches, tries to work counts. So it's important for CJ to get ahead, then finish him off with his breaking ball.
This is back up the middle. It's a leadoff single. So Aoki is on board. And that'll bring up Escobar. And we will quickly take a look at our Monday key to the game.
Some Led Zeppelin, especially with these 2 type of pitchers on the mound. Whole lot of glove. The defense may indeed win this game today. Both teams playing very good defense, although Kansas City not quite as good as last year, but the Angels at the 2nd best fielding percentage in the American League. They've made tons of improvement from last year.
Escobar, the shortstop, hitting .281. Couple of home runs, 17 runs batted in, has 12 doubles. Gibby mentioned the Royals will run. They are 2nd in the American League with 36 stolen bases. Aoki has 5. He's been caught 3 times. There's Ned Yost, the skipper. 4th full season. He took over in 2010 with a fired Trey Hellman. Managed 121 games that year. chasing the off-speed pitch. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
So important to be able to establish a changeup and his curveball early on against Kansas City for CJ. Royals have always been known as a fastball hitting club. Will chase off speed out of the strike zone.
0-2 now. Way outside. Nice play by Iannetta. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's the Royals team that is 10-12 away from Kauffman Stadium. As a team 7th in the American League in batting average. Last in home runs. They've hit 20 home runs. 14th in runs scored. 13th in on-base percentage. Aoki with a pretty good lead at first. Leadoff single for him. Escobar lines one to second base. Kent Howie's got it. There's the first out of the game. Hey folks, tonight's broadcast is on AFM, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Not only do we thank you for your continued service, we welcome you to our broadcast. So 1 down, and here's Eric Hosmer, first baseman. First one in for a strike. Hosmer hitting .285. Team leader doubles with 17. A home run and 21 runs batted in. .330 on base percentage.
2 for 5 in his career versus CJ. That's a .400 batting average.
Lays off. CJ wants an appeal and did not go. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy Fletcher is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Chris Siegel is over at first base. Mike Machlinski at second. And Mark Wegner at third base, the umpiring crew for this series. Breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Boy, looking over at Aoki over at first base. He keeps leaning back towards first. CJ's doing a good job as far as keeping him close. Had 5 stolen bases this season, but has been caught 3 times. Averaged 25 steals the last couple of seasons for the Milwaukee Brewers.
2-1 on the way. He reaches for this one. Line to third. Freeze has it. 2 down. A defensive swing by Eric Hosmer. Freeze perfectly positioned.
Like Escobar was too. He's trying to put it in play. Defensive alignment perfect for Freeze to catch a line drive.
So 2 outs on a man at first. Billy Butler coming up. DH. .255 average for Butler. Last year hit .289. Billy also with a home run and 18 runs batted in. That is in tight. That's 1 ball, no strikes. Team leader in home runs is Salvador Perez. He's not playing in this game. Perez has 4. Alex Gordon, the man on deck, the left fielder, has 3. You've talked about it a number of times about the team record for home runs. Steve Balboni.
Yeah, 36, still the record.
Aoki takes off. Butler is swinging a miss. A throw is not in time. So stolen base 6th of the year for Aoki, and that puts a man in scoring position.
Well, you read that perfect going first movement. CJ, who's done a good job of taking a look over at Aoki, but did not look on that one, and an easy slides in for a 6th stolen base of the season in scoring position for a very tough hitter in Billy Butler. Fanicam shows a slide, getting to that back part of the base before the baseball even gets there, easily getting into scoring position.
Breaking pitch, down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Later on in the game broadcast, we will discuss Nori Aoki wearing number 23 for the Kansas City Royals. We will break that down.
Oh, yeah. And why wouldn't you? It's a good number.
Yeah. He wears a slightly baggier uniform than you once did.
Just slightly.
And is inside. It's off the glove of Chris Iannetta. A pass ball. Puts a man at third base.
We have four-seam fastball. Boy, with the movement we've seen from CJ, especially on his four-seam fastball, that going to have that type of action on there. As a catcher and Chris Iannetti, you have to be prepared for that late movement.
One of those not following the baseball into the glove. So man at third base, Aoki with a single, a stolen base, and now a pass ball moving into third. 3-1 count on Billy Butler. Takes inside, he walked him. So Alex Gordon will bat here, with runners at first and third base. 15 pitches thrown by Wilson, 8 strikes, 7 balls. At start against the Rays, CJ issued 2 walks to go with 7 strikeouts. Gordon, the left fielder, hitting .266, 3 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Team leader in RBIs. See the .330 on base percentage. Breaking ball down and away.
Wayne, if you're CJ, you're going against this Royals club. We talked about their lack of home run power. You have to, your mindset is, I got to get ahead, keep the ball down. Not a lot of swings as far as the home run swings for this Kansas City club. They will put the ball in play. You cannot gift runners against this Royals club.
Gordon, a swing and a miss. Good fastball in.
And when you combine what they've done with Butler, Gordon, and Hosmer, that's 5 combined home runs. And that's over 524 at-bats coming into this game for those 3. You look what they've done over the last number of seasons as far as power. They've had the swing, but certainly not this season so far.
Lays off the breaking ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gordon's been pretty good in this situation this year. .333 average with men in scoring position. The Royals in general, .244. And their splits are fairly close as far as home road, lefty righty. Fairly consistent. Mentioned the .255 team batting average, .251 against lefties. Hitters count on 2 balls and a strike. Gordon, a swing and a miss. Expanded the strike zone there.
And that's been the pitch for CJ, whether it's his curveball or slider. It's allowed him to be so effective this season. In a fastball count, be able to have a hitter swing at a slider out of the strike zone. Reason why is because CJ has thrown his breaking ball for strikes this year.
Two and two with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Wilson trying to get out a little first inning situation. This is broken bat looper, and Howie Kendrick can't get it. It's in the right field. Royals take a 1-0 lead. Broken bat single for Alex Gordon, picks up his 25th run batted in. How big is that pass ball now?
Because otherwise you might have a play at the plate. He's going to be going with 2 outs anyhow, Aoki. But a breaking ball, it has stayed middle of the plate, especially when you have an opportunity with that pitch before. See the bat breaking on that breaking ball, but it was still too much of the plate and just over the head of Howie Kendrick. Not an easy thing to do.
First and second, still 2 outs. Royals striking first. Danny Valencia, the third baseman, now at the plate. Former Minnesota Twin looks at the strike, and Baltimore Oriole. He's going to get the opportunity now, playing pretty much on a daily basis at third base with Mike Moustakas being set down. Moustakas, the SoCal kid, struggled offensively, continued to struggle offensively. So Valencia put up decent numbers with the Orioles last year. Has put up good numbers so far as this one's down low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And batting .308. This is 17th game with Kansas City this season. Has a home run and 7 runs batted in. Hit .304 last year with the Orioles in 52 games. Butler, the base runner, at second. Gordon at first. 2-out spin move. Nobody cutting in.
That's what Billy Butler at second base. Trying to keep him close. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, it looked like it. 2 balls and a strike.
Boy, CJ, after the hit by Aoki and a couple outs, not a lot of pitches thrown. All of a sudden now, that pitch right there in the outside corner at 90 should have been a 1-2 count instead of 2-1. Now up to 23 pitches thrown in this inning.
Three balls and a strike. 2 singles and a walk issued by C.J. Wilson, who's thrown 24 pitches so far. Seems to be very tentative against a team that, as we've talked about already, power numbers have been down.
And when you face a team with not a lot of power, you feel more aggressive when you're on the mound.
And that is a walk, so they're loaded up. Might prompt a visit by Mike Butcher as Lorenzo Cain will be stepping to the plate now.
This pitch looked like it might have been a strike. Got to frame that in there, keep it in the strike zone, but it goes off the plate on the catch from Chris Iannetta. Didn't get the call instead at 91.
Yeah, you saw how Iannetta kind of took that pitch out of the strike zone. That's one of those.
And you really can't blame an umpire for not calling that a strike, even though technically we look at it on our Fox tracks, it's in the strike zone. But when you see a catcher catch it like that, your mindset is it can't be a strike. So bottom line is you want to be as soft as possible with your hands to be able to frame the ball close enough to that corner where you're going to get some of those borderline pitches called for you.
Yeah, that's one of those clockwise or counterclockwise motions you're supposed to do as a catcher, anticipating that running action. Little counterclockwise motion, keep that ball in that strike zone.
Boy, I played with Bob Boone, who obviously had a lot of great years with the Angels also in Kansas City, and he was so good as far as this. He just moved his glove just slightly on each side of the plate. Didn't move his body a lot. You got so many called strikes on the corners and sometimes off the corner.
Lorenzo Cain swinging at the first pitch breaking ball. Fouls it off, and it's no balls and a strike. Cain a .311 average with a home run and 13 runs batted in. He bats now with the bases loaded. Butler at third, Gordon at second, Valencia at first. 1-0 Kansas City here in the first. Gordon with an RBI single. Wilson about to throw his 27th pitch of the night.
Good changeup. He's thrown a couple already in this game. Can't shy away from that pitch. CJ's really been more comfortable with it. I don't think he's thrown enough of it. He's thrown more. Get some easy outs with it.
Well, you get a swing like that. Now it's 0-2. Why wouldn't you go back out there?
Yeah, you can't have anything close to the strike zone at this point.
He's tried it.
And you can try it again. Now you have him set up for a breaking ball below the knees. Lorenzo Cain likes the fastball out over the plate. Likes it elevated.
One-two. Cain takes a called strike, 3 on the inside corner. Down it goes. Kansas City sent 7 men to the plate. They score a run, leave them loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Royals. Kansas City. We'll check out Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for the Halos, who roll into town and roll into this series, I should say, with a 26-20 record, 3.5 back in the West at the start of the day. It's Howie Kendrick leading things off in second. Mike Trout back in the lineup. He's in center. Albert Pujols in first. David Freese, the cleanup hitter, at third. C.J. Cron, the DH. It's Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Eric Ivar, the shortstop. Grant Green at left. Colin Cowgill rounds out that starting 9. He will patrol right field as they take on the 25-year-old Southern California native by the name of Danny Duffy.
Danny Duffy talked a lot about him in the pregame show. 92-97 mile-an-hour fastball, curveball / slider, changeup. The keys against him: you have to use the barrel of the bat on his fastball and don't chase that slider in the dirt.
Howie Kendrick looks at a strike. Howie hitting .309, a couple of home runs, 22 runs batted in, has 10 doubles, 3 triples within the leadoff spot Wednesday's game, and ended up going 1 for 4. This was fouled off to the right. And it's an 0-2 count. Duffy 2 and 3 mark, 25 and a third innings, 11 hits, 19 strikeouts, and 10 walks. For Duffy, this is his 10th game, 4th start. Breaking pitch rolled up the third base line. That's going to stay fair. That's an infield base hit. Put it in your pocket. Go ahead and pick it up. Now Valencia, I was wondering if Valencia was asking home plate umpire Andy Fletcher if that ball hit him, but apparently it did not. So it's an infield base hit. Let's check out the Royals quickly defensively here. You've got Gordon, Kane, and Aoki in the outfield from left to right. Valencia, Escobar, Siriaco, and Hosmer around the infield from third to first. Hayes behind the plate.
And Alex Gordon out in right field. Converted third baseman, has been one of the best, if not the best, left fielders in baseball. 3-time Gold Glove winner, 60 career outfield assists for the season. Very difficult to even think about an extra base against Alex Gordon. Tony Roy with more Gold Gloves. Frank White won 8 at second base.
Mike Trout looks a strike in the inside corner. Looked like he cared for that call. A .270 average with 8 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Remember, the day off on Wednesday was dealing with a little hamstring issue, but had himself a multi-hit game Tuesday. Came out in the 5th inning. Ended up going 2 for 3 with a sac fly. There's that off-speed pitch down and away, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, I asked Mike before the game how he felt. He said he feels great. That extra day, full day off, also off your feet.
Down and in with the fastball at 95. 1-2.
Very difficult to run against. He's not allowed a stolen base so far this year, and he has 2 pickoffs. So he utilizes a slide step, and he has a good move to first.
Trout loops one out towards shallow right. Escobar cutting over, Siriaco cutting over, and makes a sliding catch. He had a long way to go as he was shading Trout toward the middle. 1 down.
Duffy jammed Trout. Siriaco had to go, you mentioned that, Victor, a long, long way into the outfield towards the right field line. He's playing up the middle looking for a double play ball. You don't even really see him in view until he comes out of nowhere and makes a nice sliding catch. When you face 2 left-handed pitchers like this tonight, it's what really comes down to who can make the play defensively. We've seen some good ones so far in this game, that one being one of them.
So Pujols out to play with Kendrick at first. Albert lofts this one in the air on the first base side. Hosmer into foul territory, now drifting back into fair play. Makes the catch, 2 down. So like the Royals in the top of the first inning, leadoff men on board, then the next 2 hitters retired. See what David Freese can do here against Danny Duffy. His first appearance against the Angels.
First time Duffy had gotten Pujols out. Pujols was 2 for 2 in his career versus Duffy. Many at-bats against Duffy for Angel hitters today. Pujols being one.
This one's out toward right center field. Lorenzo Cain is there. And he'll put it away. So leadoff single stranded at first base. Duffy with a shutdown inning. We've played one here at the Big A. Kansas City on top 1-0.
Hey fans, check out.
Of first base clubs north of the border. And an old-fashioned pitching duel going down in Tampa right now. Just to name a few.
Just to name a few. TJ Wilson back to work here in the second inning. Faced 7 batters in the first, issuing 2 walks, allowing 2 hits. But left the bases loaded as he struck out. Lorenzo Cain looking. Siriaco, Hayes, and Aoki here in the second inning. Siriaco takes inside. Siriaco playing in his 8th game this year with Kansas City. .250 average, 3 for 12. No extra base hits. As that one's in at the knees to even the count. Two balls, 1 strike. Siriaco last year. The Red Sox, the Padres, and Kansas City claimed off waivers. They worked out a deal for him. This one's out toward right center field. Trout got a pretty good jump on it. Puts it away for the first out. Hey folks, groups of 20 or more can enjoy Angels baseball for as low as $8 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book your outing today, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/groups. Hope you're enjoying the start of your Memorial Day weekend. Folks still going to the ballpark here for this first of 3 against Kansas City, their only visit of the year. Angels will head to Kauffman Stadium at the end of June. Wilson delivers a strike on the catcher, Brett Hayes.
Traffic was certainly fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people getting out of town or coming to the ballpark.
I can kind of take some back roads. You, not so much.
No.
You'd still be in your car if you were taking back roads from where you live. Swing and a miss. That would have been awesome. I'd just dial you in.
Yeah, I had fun driving today. I really did have a good time.
You could do color from your from the Bluetooth in your car.
Yes.
I'm almost there.
I felt like saying, "We there yet? We there yet?" Like our kids would say in the back of the car every time.
Hayes pulls this one to the left side. Freeze has it. 2 up and 2 down. Yeah, and here you just never know. It's Friday, number 1, so it's always going to be busy. But because of the holiday weekend, people going every which way, whether it's the beach, San Diego, Vegas.
And we kept hearing there was going to be a lot of people on the roads. Perfect weather today here.
Nori Aoki, the right fielder, singled, stole a base, and scored the first inning. Busy guy, takes the breaking ball down low. Picked up in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers in exchange for Will Smith, left-handed pitcher. Fresh Prince.
I was going to say the Will Smith?
No, not so much. Okay, lines went towards short. Ibar can't handle it. Nice effort. That ball slicing away from Eric. That's a 2-out single for Aoki.
Now 5 for 11 in his career versus the Angels. Ibar almost able to catch this line drive underneath the glove. And this went with the pitch. Aoki doesn't have a lot of power. 0 home runs. He does have 6 doubles and a couple triples. He's a guy that puts the ball in play.
By the way, if Will Smith sounds familiar, aside from being on TV, former Angel Will Smith.
Yes. That's why I said the Will Smith from the Angels.
Alcides Escobar swings to the first one, and it's a fly ball to shallow right. Howie calling for it. Calling Calgill. Stays away, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Well, to the bottom of the 2nd. Crow and Ibar coming up for the Angels, down 1-0. Coming up later in the game, we'll bring you the AT&T fan photo of the game, but we need your help. Tweet your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and it could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. C.J. Cron hits a towering shot out the left field. Alex Gordon has a beat on it. He is there, puts it away, and there's out number 1. So it looks like the plan for the Angels is if Duffy's going to throw first pitch fastball, they're going to swing the lumber.
And try to get that bat head out quickly to get the barrel on the baseball. And almost got that one out.
Duffy's now allowed a total of 12 hits in 26 and 2/3 innings so far this year. 3 extra base hits, all 3 doubles.
Opponents coming into this game 131 batting average against Duffy.
Chris Iannetta looks at a fastball for a strike. Iannetta hitting .239, has 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. .372 on base percentage. He's down low. Counting it up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Duffy in that start against Baltimore. 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks in that start. Helped out too by a fantastic diving catch. That was Alex Gordon in foul territory down the left field line.
It's amazing how well Gordon has adjusted to left field after being drafted. He's supposed to be a dominant third baseman.
All right, Netta drives one out toward left center field. Gordon giving chase, as is Kane. Nobody's going to get it. Big fly for Chris Netta, 4th of the year, ties this game up at 1. There's the first extra base hit allowed, home run I should say, by Danny Duffy on the season.
Well, there's been a couple good swings against Duffy in this game, even early on, and that one in particular by Chris Iannetta. 4th home run, 15th RBI, tying the game up at 1. And when you're facing a very good, especially left-handed hurler who throws hard, you try to get that bat head out, and he did, and turned on it and got it out of the ballpark, well out in left center field.
51st home run the Angels have hit this season. And Eric Ibar steps to the plate with the bases clear. Eric lines one to left field. There's a base hit. Again, looks like the approach is you're going to try to get ahead with that fastball. We're going to jump on it.
You have to jump on that fastball, especially when it's elevated. Going back to that swing from Iannetta on a phantom cam, you talk about getting that leverage, the lower part of your body, and getting the barrel of the bat on the baseball. Got underneath it and drives it out. Boy, that ball was crushed.
Grant Green fouls off the first one.
Well, Duffy's faced 8 batters in this game. All 8 he's thrown first pitch strikes. Fastballs. Why wouldn't you jump on that first pitch fastball? That might be your best opportunity to do some damage. Yeah, it's always great that work counts, but if you get a good fastball to hit early on, jump on it.
Oh, and 2. Grant getting the start in left field, hitting .357 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. If you weren't with us at the Open, the Angels did make a roster move today. Efren Navarro was optioned back down to the minor leagues, as Sean Burnett was added to the Angels bullpen.
Yeah, it's good to see Sean back, and Efren did a tremendous job for the Angels filling in.
Green punches one to the right side. Siriaco with a diving stop, throws to first, and they get Green for out number 2. Terrific play by Siriaco.
We saw Siriaco when he was a member of the Red Sox with that good glove and strong throwing arm. He showed some very good range at second base here tonight. Ball looked like it was destined to be, end up being a first and third scenario. Instead, it's a second out of the inning. Ibar in scoring position at second, but well played. Good swing from Grant Green, though. Into that outfield grass, and still, you know he has a strong throwing arm. He gets Green by half a step.
So a man in scoring position with 2 outs, calling Cowgill at the plate. Siriaco, even just for a split second, thought about throwing to second base, trying to get the lead runner.
Yeah, when you make a play like that, you have to get that out. Yeah, decision, yeah, it's a good idea to think about it, but it almost cost him there. Grant Green almost beat that out. Notice now Duffy thinking in terms of, well, they're jumping on that first pitch fastball. I better start throwing a breaking ball, and he did there.
Cowgill hitting .293 with a couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. Now back, and now it's just below us. The Angels have done a much better job on this homestand with men in scoring position. .353 average for the first 7 games of this homestand. 8 for 18 against Houston, 10 for 33 against Tampa Bay. Oh, 2 punch into right field, a base hit. Aoki comes charging in. Ibar to the plate, the throw. It is not in time. 2-1 Angels.
That's a great slide by Ibar. Aoki, good throw, but just enough away from the plate. because now as a catcher, you can't block the plate until the baseball is there, and that allowed that clear path for Ibar to slide and get the back part of the plate. Cutting down that angle and getting to the back part of the plate on the slide with the hand. The piece hit by Calgill, and once again, clutches up with a base hit, but a perfect slide by Ibar to get that hand on the back part of the plate. You mentioned those hitters being more consistent with runners in scoring position. A nice, quiet approach from Calgill.
So back to the top of the order we go with Howie Kendrick now up. Takes a fastball in at the knees. Howie 1 for 1 with a single.
That was an angry 96 from Duffy. He does have a very good fastball, but he can get wild. He hasn't shown that yet. Only 22 pitches thrown so far. 19 strikes.
This one's out toward the alley, right center field. Kane is there, though. Makes the catch. That'll end it for the Angels here in the second. But the Halos strike for 2 runs on 3 hits. Iannetta got things started with his 4th home run out the left center field. And Colin Calgill with the RBI single. 2 in the books. 2-1 Angels. Join us on Saturday for Lego Day here at the Big A. Watch the Halos take on the Royals. Remember, it's a 4:05 start tomorrow. You can enjoy Angels Lego art and then watch a special engagement screening of the Lego movie. And you can do that on the field. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit angels.com/Lego. Lego. Hosmer, Butler, and Gordon for Kansas City here in the third. Chris Anaheim tying things up with a home run, and Colin Calgill putting the Angels up with a 2-out RBI single. Hosmer lined out to David Freese in the first innings. He's 0 for 1.
Boy, CJ does a real good job of leveraging his lower part of his body to drive towards the plate.
This one's out toward right center field. Calgill moving over. 1 down.
And now it's time for Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Speaking of pitching staffs, top ERAs as far as starters in the American League. The A's at the top at 2.83, followed by the Tigers, the Angels in third place, 3.45, and the Royals right behind them at 3.55. All 4 of those teams contending teams. Why?
Yep.
Because those starting pitchers have done a great job. There's a couple right there, James Shields and Jason Vargas, former Angel.
Shields going tomorrow. Jason's going on Sunday.
He's a great guy. We had a lot of good conversations with him. He was a member of the Angels for Vargas. Gene Shields, a SoCal product himself, went to Hart High School.
Butler pulls one down the line, backhanded by Freeze. 2 down. Shields a free agent to be.
It's played by David Freeze. He's real comfortable with the glove coming back, backhand. Knows he's got some time. Butler running down the line, perfect throw the first. Smart decision. When you're a third baseman, the ball's hit hard at you, and you got time to gather and make the strong throw like Freeze did. Wise decision.
No panic. Here's Alex Gordon, 2 outs. Nobody on. Gordon with an RBI single, just beyond the reach of Howie Kendrick's glove in the first inning, picking up his 25th run batted in. Saw the graphic there, the second overall selection in 2005. Justin Upton was the #1 pick that year. Gordon out of the University of Nebraska. Grew up in Nebraska. You mentioned him kind of converting, came up as a third baseman, college, was a third baseman. A lot of expectations for him, especially likened a lot to George Brett when he first
signed. A lot of
signed.
pressure early on. What are you, Golden Spikes winner also?
Yeah.
He's an outstanding player. It's a cool view from where he's playing.
Yeah. Thing is, too, with Gordon, I mean, if you start to see some similarities, obviously Mike Moustakas, highly talented kid out of high school, had some success at the major league, now set down in AAA. Maybe it's you look at Alex Gordon. They did that to Alex with
exactly.
09, I think it was.
They're hoping that the same type of work conditions for Moustakas going down, instead of being upset about being sent down, he goes down and works on some things, start using the middle part of the field. And that's what's made Alex Gordon so good now. Remember early on, he was susceptible to fastballs inside, a lot of them. But now all of a sudden you see him using the whole field, and the batting average is consistently going up for him. Doubles, certainly a big part of this game.
Yeah. 3-2, and he walked him. A 2-out walk, and that's a third free pass issued by C.J. Wilson. We'll bring up Danny Valencia. You mentioned the doubles, 51 doubles for Alex Gordon in 2012. Gold Glove Award winner. 3 Gold Glovers last year. Hosmer, Gordon, and Perez.
They're not fielding quite as good this season. Down toward the bottom, .982 fielding percentage.
Valencia drew a walk himself in the first.
Already ties a season high for walks in the game for CJ with 3. He's done a very good job as far as limiting the walks this season.
Strikes to ball ratio, not where you want it to be so far. 28 strikes, 23 balls for Wilson. Valencia hits one high toward left field. Grant Green can't find it. Now he does. Backpedals, makes the catch. It's that time of night. We don't like those hands up in the air. You can't find a baseball.
No.
On the bottom of the third, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, David Freese coming up with the Angels on top.
Let's check out the tools of the trade presented by Ram Trucks. Eric Ibar. Great instincts, not only with the glove and the bat, but also with the legs. The slide, using his hand to get the back part of the plate. Now without it, you always have to have that clear path. Catchers cannot block that. You have that one area to be able to get that back part of the plate, and Eric Ibar uses his hand to get that back part of the plate. That clear path.
Bang, bang play at the play with Aoki playing shallow and right. Trout leading things off. Takes an off-speed pitch outside for ball one.
Yeah, in years past, that would have been a difficult one to win that way, to try to touch the plate. The catcher would have had the entire plate covered. And difficult to get through them.
2 balls, no strikes now. Trout who popped out to Pedro Siriaco in the first. 4 hits allowed by Danny Duffy. That's already the most hits he's allowed.
He's hooked on Trout.
Yeah. Jammed him. This one fought off into the seats on the first base side. It's 2 balls and a strike.
You know when you have a good fastball, jam Trout on a 2-0 fastball count. It's the first batter of the game for Duffy. He's actually been behind in the count. First pitch ball out of the zone.
This one's fouled off to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Duffy last year just 5 starts, working his way back from Tommy John surgery that was performed on him in May of 2012. 3rd round pick in 2007 by Kansas City. Oh. Two on the way. This one's fouled back just below us. Pujols on deck, then David Freese. 28 pitches thrown by Danny Duffy. 23 strikes.
That's a pretty good ratio, don't you think? 5 to 1 almost.
Will usually get the job done. This one's out toward left center field. Another towering shot. Forget about it. Gone. A big fly for Mike Trout. 9th of the season. 3-1 Angels.
Those thunder sticks down in the Trout farm are really jamming now after that big fly from Mike Trout. And when you're throwing that hard, you can square up the baseball, get the barrel of the bat on it, it's going to go a long way. And I haven't seen many baseballs go that far to that part of the field. Trouty, 9th home run of the season. A no-doubter. He's telling his roommate, Garrett Richards, yeah, I think I got a lot of that one. Look at a phantom cam. Stride going forward. Head is still. He's throwing the butt of the bat first to get the barrel on the baseball, and then he tattoos it out of the yard.
2nd home run of the homestand. And now Duffy falls behind at 2 balls and no strikes.
Back-to-back batters now. Duffy behind in the count. That is a perfect swing. And this goes so far out. Sometimes as a pitcher, you don't like to give the hitter credit, but that one that went that far, you have to drop a wow.
The old tip of the cap?
Yeah. That's why I never looked to see how far it went. I just asked for a new baseball. You can tell that sound when you're on the mound and somebody squares it up that well.
Pujols bounces this one toward the dugout. Oh, is that Dino Evil?
Oh, he's going to show Alfredo.
That's it.
Coming to the game, you mentioned earlier, Duffy has not allowed a home run, has allowed 2 in this game. Talked about the keys again, some barrel up on that fastball twice. Angel hitters have.
Albert takes downstairs, and it's a walk. To the home run by Trout, now the walk to Pujols.
This is a very good pitch from Duffy, trying to work downstairs. But then that bat, getting it out front and getting underneath the baseball. Underside of the baseball to create that leverage and distance on the swing.
David Freese at the plate.
Is there a conversation about Trout's swing today? The pregame show?
I believe there was.
Home run speed off the bat for Trout, 104 miles per hour. Hit speed off the bat. Impressive.
It's kind of like your tennis serve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You and Nadal. David Freese pops one up. Shallow right field. Aoki can't find it, so it's up to Siriaco, and he drops it. Nothing Albert could do. He was hung up between first and second.
Yeah, as a base runner, there's really nothing you can do. All you can hope for is either you're the outfielder or second baseman not get a handle of the baseball. Siriaco with a nice play, good recovery. He's going a long way. Another outfielder not seeing a baseball here at night. High sky at night. Off the glove, but recovered very well. We talked about his throwing arm. He's got a good one.
Goes as a fielder's choice. One out. C.J. Cron at the plate. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Cron saw one pitch leading off the second. Hit a towering fly ball to left. He's 0 for 1 so far. 5 hits for the Angels. 2 home runs on top 3-1 here in the third. Count even up at a ball and a strike. In case you were wondering, you see C.J. Cron and the youngsters that the Angels still have on this roster. Josh Hamilton was scheduled for a rehab start again today. Scratched late. Felt a little tenderness and picked off at first as David Freese 2 down. But Hamilton was scratched due to some tenderness in his thumb after being jammed on his last at bat last night, but he should be all right for tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be playing tomorrow. We talked about Duffy's pickoff ability, 3 now this season. Quick to the plate, an outstanding move. And the tag applied on the hand as Freese tries to get to the back part of the base. Hosmer, a good tag.
The base is clear. 2 outs. 1-1 count on C.J. Cron as he pulls this one foul. I almost looked watching that replay of Freese. He wasn't watching Duffy as he was taking his step off the bag.
So often when you talk about pitchers with good pickoff moves, they pick off the guys that aren't necessarily base stealers because they're just trying to get themselves out of a comfortable position and not paying attention.
And Cron strikes out, swing on a high fastball. First punch out for Duffy tonight, but as Mike Trout led off his 3rd inning with his 9th home run of the season. We played 3 now here at the Big A, and the Angels on top 3-1. The Halos with a 3-1 lead. I want to remind you, the Angels, when they return home, will take on the White Sox June 6th at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a Jared Weaver gnome, courtesy of Farmer John, while supplies last.
That is awesome.
Purchase tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. All right, so you gave me the Albert Pujols 2 fingers up to the air. Can I see your impersonation of Jared Weaver's gnome?
The smile on his face is priceless.
Let me see it. Come on, nothing? You got nothing?
Yeah.
Kane, Siriaco, and Hayes defeats C.J. Wilson. That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I got for you.
We're going to have to...
That's all I got.
Oh, man.
He loves it, I know that. He said it was a beautiful gnome.
Boy, that look just appears as if you're trying to hold dinner down. Or in.
Oh, that smile was priceless. Oh, no.
It's a good look.
Yeah.
Kane, the center fielder, ahead of the count now. 2 balls and no strikes. He struck out looking with the bases loaded in the first. You're usually very mobile when I'm doing those reads. This time it looks like you were trying to figure out how.
I was trying to figure out that smile. Oh.
2-1. 1 strikeout, 3 walks for C.J. Wilson. 55 pitches as we play here in the 4th.
Well, I had a nice conversation with Weaver today about his performance on Wednesday, the complete game. Boy, he said, you know, he's feeling really good. He's getting close to being where he can challenge more and more batters with his fastball, and he got a lot of quick outs with it.
Kane pops it up on the right side of the infield. Howie Kendrick and Albert Pujols. Howie calls everybody off. 1 down. Fantastic performance by CJ, or pardon me, by Jared in that performance on Wednesday. CJ also with a complete game on this homestand. Just 2 hits allowed. And really, I mean, you look at that, the scorecard. No stress. Gave up the home run to Springer in the 4th inning. Had a man at second base in the 7th, and 1-out double by Jason Castro. But
and the thing is, when you do that with a 2-1 victory, it's not like he had a big lead to work with. I mean, every pitch was, yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why he's got the smile on the dome.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I got 2 runs. That's a ton.
Siriaco, the second baseman, with the fly ball to center. Back in the 2nd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Siriaco, a guy that can plug at a lot of different positions. 7 positions at the major league level. He hasn't pitched, nor has he caught yet. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Still early.
Yeah. Put up decent numbers for the Red Sox in 2012 at 293 in 76 games as he lays off that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Played some short, played some third for them. Getting to start at second base tonight.
Red Sox re-signing Stephen Drew.
Yeah.
Just the other day.
Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Down he goes. 2 down. Hey, tonight's game is being powered by Energy Upgrade California. Manage energy and help California stay golden. Visit energyupgradeca.org. Brett Hayes, the catcher at the plate. He grounded out to Freeze in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball is in for a strike.
Product of Notre Dame High School,
yeah.
Sherman Oaks, along with Giancarlo Stanton, Brendan Ryan.
Born in Pasadena,
Jack McDowell went there also.
Jack McDowell, blackjack.
Yes.
Hayes went to University of Nevada, Reno. Second round pick by the Florida Marlins in 2005. Then the Florida Marlins. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I think the difference maker for CJ this season has been his curveball and his changeup. Slider's been good also, but his ability to throw those for strikes, change speeds, makes his fastball better.
Chopper toward the middle. Howe is shading him that way. That's a 1-2-3 inning for C.J. Wilson. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Angels leading at 3-1.
Let's check out our AT&T U-verse rewind. First at bat for Chris Iannetta. A no-doubter, got a fastball up the barrel of the bat. First home run that Duffy has allowed this season. But later on, Mike Trout made it 2 home runs allowed this season. That was a big fly for Chris Iannetta.
Iannetta, Ibar, and Green for the Angels here to face Danny Duffy in the 4th. 5 hits for the Angels so far, 2 home runs. Iannetta, Mike Trout. Fastball on the outside corner. Great location on that one. Duffy with 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Home run that Iannetta hit in the 2nd, his 4th. 15th run batted in.
Seeing a changeup on that one.
Yeah. Two balls and a strike. They'll see plenty of changeups over the next 2 days with James Shields and Jason Vargas.
Yeah, James Shields, for a right-handed pitcher, one of the best changeups. When you look at Weaver and Shields from the right side, great changeups, and command with that changeup.
And then it takes that breaking ball. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Angels currently will counter with the Matt Shoemaker tomorrow. Garrett Richards on Sunday. There's Shields. 2-2 on the way. Iannetta taps it foul. Tried to hold back as much as possible, as long as possible on that breaking ball. There's Shoe.
He's throwing the ball very well in the starting rotation on both starts. Boy, he spotted his fastball very well. His 2-seam fastball in against lefties. His changeup, curve, and slider, excellent.
Downstairs. First full count for Duffy in this ball game. Three-two. This is in the air to right. Aoki is there, puts it away, and there's out number 1. Hey folks, tomorrow it's a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Rangers taking on the Tigers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's the season premiere of Baseball Night in America on Fox as the Royals take on the Angels. All the action begins Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and then continues at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox. One curious thing I saw about Duffy, I was looking at his splits, especially counts, pitches thrown, and the like. That 3-2 count was the first one in this game. It's the 15th. Tybar fouls back. 15th 3-2 count that he has had so far this year. No hits allowed.
That's amazing. Generally, you're thinking as a hitter, it's a fastball count. That's what I told you earlier today, even pregame, what he has done on fastballs. Hitters have not had a lot of success on fastballs against him.
Little loop around to shallow right center. Siriaco is there, puts it away.
I mean, as a hitter, you got to be thinking, all right, 3-2 count, I'm getting a fastball. And you can look for it. That is amazing numbers. 0 for 15.
And just 2 walks.
So in other words, when he walks somebody, he gets out of the way quick with 4 pitches.
That's exactly right. Green takes outside. Grant grounded out in the second innings. He's 0 for 1. Shoots this one down the right field line. Aoki moving into foul territory, runs out of room.
Well, you see the approach Grant Green's taking against Duffy. He's trying to go the other way, hit the ball very well. First at bat, a ground ball that Siriaco made a very nice play on into the outfield grass there, trying to hit the ball hard to right field once again.
Aoki really shading Green toward the foul line in right. Lorenzo Cain shallow in right center. Breaking ball for a strike. 1-2.
And as usual, Gordon playing the shallow left field.
Green pulls one to the left side, and that sneaks through for a base hit. 6th hit of the night for the Angels. Saves an at bat for Colin Cowgill.
Number 7, Colin Cowgill.
Grant Green here, don't drift too far away from first base with Duffy's move. Establish your lead early on. Get the sign from Gary DiSarcina and pay attention to Duffy. He will throw over.
Cowgill with an RBI single in the second inning. 9th run batted in. Pretty good numbers as far as the Angels are concerned. 26-14 with Cowgill playing in the game. One is down low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Collins on base percentage .391. This is his 41st game. An all right-handed lineup against Duffy. Quick throw to first, and Green is able to get back in there.
Like I said, just make sure you get your lead established early on and not take your eyes off of Duffy because he's quick. Step off, throw over. He's got a couple different moves to first base.
And that is yanked foul. Out in front of it. Turn that 92-mile-an-hour fastball around. 1-1.
Cowgill's doing a very nice job filling in a variety of outfield spots, whether it's center field, right field, or left field.
Breaking ball down low. A little slide step action.
And if you're Cowgill, you'd like to see that. Slide step, or have to make a mistake with that breaking ball on a slide step. I don't think Grant Green's going to be going.
Quick throw to first again. It was Freeze that was picked off in the 3rd inning. 57 pitches, 40 for strikes. 1 punch out, 1 walk, 6 hits allowed. 2 home runs. Check in. That one more the junior varsity move. The old courtesy throw over, right?
Just to let them know you're still paying attention to
That's
them.
it. Top of the order, and Howie Kendrick on deck. 2-2 now. This one's line to left. Alex Gordon comes in, makes the catch. That'll do it for the Angels here in the 4th. 4 complete. Kansas City trailing the Angels 3-1. $500L. Visit FiatUSA.com. By Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. Call 1-855-1-TWC. By the new Fun to Drive 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Angels on top by the score of 3-1 as we begin the 5th inning. C.J. Wilson to face the top of the order. Aoki, Escobar, and Hosmer for Kansas City. Wilson with his first 1-2-3 frame in the 4th. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. Aoki's been on board twice now. Both singles. 1 up the middle and 1 just past Eric Eibach. Shortstop hole.
He will try to drag a bunt also, so you got to be aware of that if you're CJ.
Stolen base and a run scored for Aoki. He shoots this one foul down the left field line. Hey, welcome you to our broadcast booth for the 2nd time. No Jared Weaver gnome impersonations.
Please no more.
You got to do the no neck thing because Weaver's gnome had no neck. But anyways, number 23. Now Zach Greinke had the number.
Yeah.
He won a Cy Young.
Hal Morris, who works for us now.
Hal Morris, that's
yes.
right. Or number 23. Is that doesn't bother you, does it?
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Nothing bothers me.
Nothing bothers you?
No, I'm just an even keel guy.
You are?
Yeah, I'm hoping he strikes out here, though.
Are you?
Yes, like in every time the rest of the series.
To bring shame to the old number 23?
Yes, I'm not real happy that CJ's given up a couple hits to him. We might have to have a conversation with CJ tomorrow.
Remember, tomorrow's a big Fox game.
Yes. I'm working tomorrow.
Are you? You
yes.
doing an inning?
No, I'm doing a little studio stuff tomorrow for the pregame.
Good for you. Aoki lifts one out toward left center field, and nobody's going to get there. Green's got it, fires it into second base off balance, and Aoki is in there with a double. Yeah, again, Grant Green, 2nd time we've seen him in this homestand. Kind of take a casual approach on the ball like that.
You have a leadoff hitter, and Aoki's going to be thinking, as soon as he saw that ball go down to the ground in the outfield, he's thinking, all right, I got an opportunity to get into scoring position. That should only be a single. You still keep a double play in order. Instead, he's at second base. and a good hitter coming up in Escobar.
Yeah, no sense of urgency to get the baseball back into the infield. We saw it the other day on a leadoff quote-unquote double by Altuve.
You always want to give C.J. Wilson an opportunity to get a ground ball double play. Only King Felix has gotten more ground ball double plays since 2010 besides C.J., so you want to give him that opportunity. Now it's not there for him, especially with Aoki at second base now.
7th double of the year for Aoki, and that pitch is upstairs. And Escobar somehow gets that bat back. Escobar's lined out and popped out, both to Howie Kendrick.
Squares around to try to push bunt, and then at the last second brought the bat back. Wasn't easy to do either.
2-0.
Fourth time in the game for CJ's been behind the count 2-0. You don't want to put yourself in too many predictable fastball counts against this Royal lineup.
4 hits allowed, 3 by Aoki, who's at second base. He's trying to block. 74th pitch of the night. Ibar trying to keep Nori close to the bank at second. 2-1 pitch. Escobar shoots it into right field. Long run over for Colin Cowgill. Not going to get there. Nice effort. Ball just hit on the line too much. Escobar heads back to home plate with a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And Escobar's approach is trying to, especially on that count, to hit the ball to the right side now with a 2-2 count that changes it up for a hitter. Three walks, 2 punch outs so far for CJ.
Kansas City with a run on 4 hits. They've stranded 5. The Angels 3 runs, 6 hits. They've left 3 on base. Hosmer on deck. Billy Butler in the hole. Here's the 2-2. That's down and in, a full count. Three-2 popped him up. Kendrick going out. Cowgill coming in. Cowgill with the call. 1 down.
Oh, real good pitch from CJ. Gets the job done. Aoki cannot advance. Jammed him. Ran that fastball in. Unable to get the good part of the bat on it. And an unproductive out for Escobar.
Wilson wants a new baseball as Hosmer steps to the plate. A line out to Freeze in the first, a fly to right in the third. He's 0 for 2. Hosmer skies one out to right center. Trout and Cowgill, and it is Trout. Makes the catch. Aoki tags, heading to third. Here comes a throw from Trout, and they got him. Wow, what a throw by Mike Trout.
And the thing that Mike Trout has continued to work on is getting behind the baseball and a stronger throwing arm. He's doing a lot of long tossing. The guy is phenomenal, but he's always working on something. Off a throwing position and a perfect strike. Long tossing has helped him a ton.
Nice throw by Mike Trout.
And Mike Trout got himself in very good throwing position, kept his front shoulder locked in, and a perfect strike. Reason why? A lot of long tossing. If you're a youngster, whether you're a pitcher or a position player, long tossing is your best way to gain that arm strength, and that's a perfect throw. Not only a perfect throw, but that had some hair on it too.
Chopper off the glove of Duffy. Picks up. Throws an off-speed pitch over to Hosmer, and there's out number one. Kendrick with that ground down, now 1 for 3 on the night. And that'll bring up Mike Trout. As we take a look at our Infinity in-game box score, as far as the Angels are concerned, mentioned the 6 hits for the Halos, 2 have been home runs. Iannetta got the scoring started in the second. Trout with his 9th of the year, leading off the 3rd.
Trout has done it with the bat and the glove and throwing arm. So often he can do so many things to allow you to win a game with his speed, with his throwing arm, with his ability to catch a ball, and of course hit a ball.
Swings the first one. Skies went out to shallow right. Siriaco's been a busy man today. Makes the catch. 2 down. Fifth time tonight that the ball has found Siriaco.
That's the spot that Lawrence Fonte was supposed to be their everyday second baseman Kurt right now. Pujols going to be looking here. First pitch fastball. See if he can do some damage on one.
Got it, but nowhere near the strike zone. 3 infielders on the left side for Kansas City. Albert 0 for 1. A pop-up and a walk. Breaking ball. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 strikeout, 1 walk for Duffy. You can see why Kansas City is pretty high on this young man. Good stuff. 3 balls, no strikes.
Got to get the green light here if you're Albert. Doesn't do it often. This might be the time to let it go, get a fastball and drive it.
Lays off. 2-out walk. Second free pass issued by the lefty.
That's respect. 3-0 breaking ball. Into the game. 344 career hitter against the Royals with 18 home runs.
So it gives Freese an opportunity here. Fly ball to center, and then that pop-up he hit to shallow right that just dropped in. Pujols was forced out at second. And David gets jammed and lifts one out to left. Gordon is there. 5 in the books here at the Big A, and the Angels lead it 3-1.
Boy, did he crush this ball to left center field. His 9th home run of the season, 32nd RBI, and then did it with the glove and throwing arm. Comes off in perfect position to throw. Aoki thrown out at third base, the 3rd out of the inning on that perfect throw from Mike Trout. 2 outfield assists this season. Coming in this year, 0. Worked hard in spring training. Has continued to work hard on strengthening up that throwing arm.
Halos on top 3-1 as we begin the 6th. Billy Butler to lead things off against C.J. Wilson. It's just Reggie Jackson, Rock Crew, just strolling the concourse here. Just hanging out.
That's some history.
Yeah.
Some Hall of Fame.
Butler, the DH, a walk and a ground out. Looks at the strike. Butler, Gordon, and Valencia for Kansas City here in the 6th. This one's pulled foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Butler. We go back and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
It's certainly been prevalent for both teams. A whole lot of glove, including that play by Mike Trout to end last innings. It's outstanding defensive plays by both teams. The Angels needing to make those plays, especially with Duffy on the hill. Been great so far.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Butler. Iannetta will apply the tag, and there's out number 1, 3rd strikeout of the game for CJ.
A good breaking ball once again. Out in front.
Gordon, the left fielder, an RBI single in the 1st and a walk into 3rd. That was a 2-out walk. CJ's had 1, 2, 3 inning. That was the 4th. He delivers a strike. And that hit him. Trying to throw that fastball in. And so Gordon will take his place over at first. 3rd hit batter of the year for C.J. Wilson.
Inside, it's the jersey and elbow of Gordon.
2nd time he's been plunked this year. So Valencia, the 3rd baseman, now stepping up. With a man on and 1 out. Valencia with a walk and a fly ball to left. Chopper foul. He's starting to get that feel for that pitch on the inside part of the plate to right-handers.
And that's when you're going to see some ground balls. And CJ would love a ground ball right now. And David Freese will be able to turn a 5-4-3 double play.
Cal leave it up at a ball and a strike. Valencia originally 19th round selection by the Twins in 2006. The University of Miami, although that's not where he started his collegiate career. But he's just off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. University of North Carolina, Greensboro is where he started his collegiate career and then transferred to the U.
The U.
That's right, the U. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's like now in Kansas City, grew up, went to Blue Valley High School. Now there's like 6 of them. So I went to the Blue Valley High School. I'm just adding the from now on. Hey. Which one did you go to? The.
I mean, why wouldn't you? That explains it all.
2-2. Outside. Full count now. Hasn't gotten too many right-handers to chase that little 2-seamer down and away yet.
Yeah, he's kind of let that front shoulder open a little bit too quick on that to be able to make sure it's close enough to the strike zone.
Gordon on board, hit by a pitch with one out here in the sixth. Lorenzo Cain, the center fielder's on deck. Three-two. This is pulled foul. Reset and do it again. Gordon was not on the move. Skies this one out to shallow center. Trout comes in. He's under. Trouts.
Well, quite a few times we've seen Royals hitters off of CJ just off the end of the bat. Some easy, lazy fly balls to the outfield. Usually see a lot of ground ball outs for CJ. Boy, Valencia just out in front enough. When the baseball's off the end of the bat, you're avoiding the barrel of the bat where he's not able to get the good part of it to be able to do damage. 10 fly ball outs.
That swing right there is one that's kind of plagued Valencia. He's got tremendous power. He likes to pull the ball.
Yeah, when you try to pull a pitch on the outer part of the plate, you're going to have a swing like that, a lazy fly ball to center field. Now, if you're a pitcher, you make a mistake. You saw that one he pulled foul. He's quick inside. Majority of his home runs have been to left center field.
One ball, one strike on Cain. Struck out looking to end the first with the bases loaded. Popped down in the fourth. One and two now on Cain. Came over from the Milwaukee Brewers in the Zach Greinke trade. One of many. 17th round pick by the Brewers at Tallahassee Community College. Gordon takes off. The 1-2 is inside. The throw down to second is knocked down by Kendrick.
Right end, it looked like he made contact with Lorenzo Cain. He's throwing the baseball. But it didn't look like Cain leaned over the plate. He was still in his batter's box. First movement. Tried to make contact with him, but he was still so close enough to the batter's box. There was no interference called. Mike Socha not coming out either.
Yeah, I like that move by Howie, too. He had no play. Try to pick the short hop as opposed to trying to play a long hop. Sometimes that plays you. Last thing you want is extra 90 feet and ending up at third base.
And then you take away a potential hard slider from CJ to be able to get through this inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Tapper foul at the plate.
And the throw in as he tries to lean out over the plate to try to make contact. Ninetta tried to get close enough to make contact with Cain on the follow through, but he wasn't leaning out over the plate. Now, if he's over the plate or standing over the plate, yes, you can either rule him out or force him to go back to first base.
Cain making the effort to get out of the way as well. That pitch was inside. Gordon at second. 3-1 Angels here in the top of the 6th inning. CJ about to throw his 96th pitch. 2-2. Check swing. They wanted to appeal. He did not go. There's Siegel, the first base umpire, making the call.
That was real close. See if he did go across the plate on a breaking ball. He did a good job of holding off on the swing. 4th full count tonight for CJ.
You see the pitch count where it's at. A lot of it had to do with that 29 pitch first inning. Gave up a run on 2 hits and 2 walks. Faced 7 men in that first inning. Trying to finish off the 6th inning with Gordon standing at second. 3-2 on the way. He's down and in. He walked him. That's the 4th walk issued by Wilson.
Season high for him.
Second baseman, number 37,
CJ's got to be careful. Siriaco will swing at first pitch fastball. You have to locate it well. 19 pitches thrown in this inning, 29 back in the first. Reason why he's at 97 right now.
Most walks CJ has allowed since a September 27th start against the Rangers. That was his in Arlington. Siriaco, the second baseman, a fly ball to center and a strikeout. Went down looking in the 4th. Breaking ball in at the knees. Good location there. No balls in the strike. Trout shading Siriaco toward the alley right center. Cowgill in a couple of steps in right. CJ's thrown first pitch strikes to 20 and 26 Royals hitters so far.
Real solid from CJ.
0-1. Ground ball to short. High ball. Fires to Kendrick. They force out Kane. That'll do it for the Royals here in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Crow and Idet and Ibar coming up for the Halos, up 3-1.
Update, updating the American League scoreboard. Baltimore beats Cleveland. Detroit beating Texas. Kinsler 3 for 4 with 3 doubles as Detroit beats the Rangers. Yankees and White Sox still battle 5-4. Toronto beats Oakland. That's battle number 1 in their division. Toronto in first place beats Oakland. Tampa Bay 1-0 walk-off winners against the Red Sox. That was Archer versus Lackey. King Felix on the hill against Houston, pitching well, leading that 3-1. Tollison, his first home run of the season, a 2-run home run for Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Not Bautista or Encarnacion, but Tollison with the home run.
He wants to get into the mix.
Why not?
Yeah.
They're playing extremely well. Kevin Seitzer, the former Royals hitting coach, has done a great job as hitting coach for Toronto, the first place Toronto Blue Jays.
Crone fouls it off to the right. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the Kia standings in the American League West. Mentioned the Angels at the start of the day. 3.5 back. An opportunity to pick up a game on Oakland. One ball, two strikes. Albert had his golf tournament yesterday during the Angels off day. Pujols Family Foundation. Count remains at 1-2.
At Pelican?
Was it a Pelican?
Yeah. Our own Ken French was there.
Was he?
Yes.
Doing stuff for Angels Weekly?
Yes, he was.
Crow lines one to left. That's going to get down for a hit, if not more. Gordon with a terrific arm, unable to cut it off. So Crone into second with a leadoff double. That's his fourth double of the season.
Boy, Crone did a nice job of bringing his hands inside to be able to turn on that fastball. Duffy. Not easy to get it by Gordon in left field. His hands inside the baseball and drives it to left field for a leadoff double. Our Fanicam shows how well he got his hands inside. He'll do that, be able to still get the good part of the bat, good enough part of the bat to get it down the left field line. Now, how quick he is on that pitch inside. It's all started because he got his hands inside the baseball.
And then it takes that breaking ball down and in. 73rd pitch of the night for Duffy. Iannetta with a home run in the second. That was his fourth of the year. At that point, tied the game up at 1. Chris hit a fly ball to right in the fourth, so he's 1 for 2. And in scoring position, a big lead for Crone, too. This one lifted to right. Aoki looks like he's got a beat on it. Crone, standing at second base, is not going to go anywhere. 1 out.
The thought process was there for Iannetta to try to hit the ball to right field, but wasn't deep enough. Really get the job done to get Crone over to third base.
Folks, that right there, Sean Burnett.
And Mike Soch had a conversation with CJ after that last inning, 6th inning. You know, coming off a complete game shutout, sometimes as a pitcher you're taxed. You threw a lot of pitches in that game, thrown a lot of pitches this season. You might see Sean Burnett in there at some point next inning, if not starting the inning.
Ibar takes down low. The Angels shortstop 1 for 2 with a single and a pop-up. Kansas City in the 7th. Hayes, Aoki, and Escobar. Righty, lefty, and a righty. One and 1. Good fastball from Duffy at 94.
It's an important run to get home. Try to expand the lead. Keep in mind, there's some real good throwing arms out in the outfield for Kansas City here, so it's going to be difficult for Crone to score necessarily on a single.
All 3 playing shallow. This is the base hit down the line. Inside out approach. Crone will come in to score. Ibar stops it first. 4-1 Halos.
Well, some good approaches once again to be effective against Duffy. 4 runs allowed coming in the game. Duffy ERA below 1. Another nice job of getting the hands inside and then hitting the ball that way, the other way. But getting his hands in there good, and still did a good part of the bat. The approach was to try to go the other way as the bat and ball connect. Not quite on the middle part of the barrel, but a good enough portion of it to get that base hit in the right field. And an RBI for Ibar, giving him 23 this season. 2-hit performance from Ibar tonight.
Most hits allowed by Duffy since August 16, 2011. Green fouls it back. Most hits allowed in the game for Duffy, 9. It's occurred twice, both in 2011. Lewis Coleman getting ready. 4 runs allowed, the most he's given up since 2 starts prior to being shut down in 2012 to have Tommy John surgery. Grant Green 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. This one's out toward right center field, hit well. Kane giving chase, not going to get there. Off the wall. Ibar at third base. He's being waved in by DeSarcina. The throw to the plate is not in time. Green is caught between second and third. And he's in a rundown. It's going to be the second out of the inning.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great read from Ibar. Again, we talked about the outfield's arm strength of the Royals. He scores rather easily because he read that ball was not going to be caught, and he was flying around the bases. Scores the 5th run of the game.
Green picks up his second hit, his 3rd double, picks up the RBI.
When Ibar was just flying around the bases, just a perfect read. Calgill saying to get down on the slide. Gary DeSarcina very aggressive, sending home Ibar. But then Grant Green gets caught off in between second and third. That's the time when you just satisfy with the swing, a double, and stay right there at the base. You're in scoring position.
Yeah, you're not drawing a throw.
But a good swing once again from Green. Boy, some real good approaches against Duffy. Not trying to do a lot, just trying to serve the ball the other way, the middle of the field approach. But a great read from Eric Ibar. It's 2 runs he scored tonight with great reads on one, using the back part of the plate with the tagging it with his hand, scoring the run early, and then that one there.
This one fouled back behind the plate. 1 and 2 on Collin.
Well, you can see him flying around second, going to third, cutting that angle down, picking up the throw. Knowing which part of the plate he would have to slide, using that hand once again to get the back part of the plate. Scores the 2nd run of the game. He does everything so well.
One, 2. That's up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
May indeed still be in the game.
Clean living. Run support once again.
Oh, yes.
5 runs so far. 5-1 Angels here in the 6th. Duffy's 2-2 now. That is just off the plate, a full count. Duffy.
This may be his last batter right here.
As a reminder, came in having given up 3 extra base hits in his 10 games. In 3 starts, he's allowed 4 extra base hits tonight. Calgill fouls it back. It's 11 total hits allowed by Duffy coming into this start. 9 hits tonight. Calgill takes a called strike 3. He knew it. That'll do it for the Halos here in the 6th inning. 2nd strikeout for Duffy, but the Angels tack on 2 more runs. 6 complete here at the Big A. Halos on top 5-1.
Ibar did it all with the bat and the slide to be able to score the 5th run.
with a 5-1 lead. Now it's time for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and your photo could be used in an upcoming game broadcast. Scott, is it Nebaker? Living in Kansas, and it's still not like home.
Yeah, it didn't look like really real happy about being in Kansas at that point. But he does have his Angel gear on, though.
I'm assuming he's from here. At least he's an Angel fan. Curious as to what part of Kansas he lives in. Maybe that's the issue.
Tough winter out there this year.
Yeah.
I know that.
Did you live on the Kansas side or Missouri side?
Kansas.
I'm sorry, Missouri. Missouri side.
Kansas. Overland Park, Kansas.
Overland Park. I hear you. Hayes, Aoki, and Escobar for Kansas City. This one's bounced to third. Freeze has it. Albert takes it out of the dirt. 1 out.
Spin throw over from Freeze. Tricky hop. He's back on the baseball, spin around, low throw, but Pujols, we talked about that a lot this season. Pujols has looked fantastic at first base this season for the Halos, looking like the Gold Glover he has been in the past.
Aoki, the right fielder, 3-hit performance, 2 singles and a double. Fouls the first one back. Aoki living up to the expectations of that number 23. Doubled his 7th.
A lot of pressure on him.
I can only imagine. I don't know how he gets out of bed every morning. Having to don that number.
He might not find that in his locker tomorrow.
All he needs now is a pair of tired Converse spikes.
They were nice looking shoes. What are you talking about?
Outlet plate. You wore those what, once? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they somehow made it on a bubblegum card though.
Did you ever wear the old Saucony spikes?
Yes.
Did you?
And Puma before I settled in on the Nike family at that point.
You were the epitome of it. If it's free, it's for me.
There's no
and
doubt.
I'll take more than
I
free.
had at one point about 25 different pair of cleats in my locker.
Aoki gets hit on the shoulder on an 0-2 pitch. Second hit batter for Wilson tonight.
And there's 2 on the entire season coming into this game. Ooh, that got him pretty good, right on the back of the arm.
Mike Socha's come out. He's going to take the baseball from C.J. Wilson. 105 pitches with 1 out here in the 7th. So C.J. goes 6 in the 3rd tonight. Not his best as far as command is concerned, but hey, he's headed to the dugout with a 5-1 lead.
Once again, only 4 hits allowed by C.J.
for him tonight. 4 walks, 2 hit batters, 3 strikeouts, but allows us 4 hits. He's responsible for Aoki standing at first base. Mike Scioscia hands the ball off to Kevin Jepson, who comes in and gets his former pitches on to Gangster's Paradise.
He's ready to try to finish off this inning with a ground ball double play.
Must be a big fan of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
This is his 19th game, no record of 4.91 ERA, 21 strikeouts in 14 2/3 innings. And he'll face Alcides Escobar, the shortstop. He's 0 for 3 tonight. A line out, a pop up, and a fly ball to right. First one, called strike on the outside corner, 95.
Well, I was looking at as Jepson was ready to throw the baseball. Grant Green was talking to Mike Trout, and he was barely getting back into his position, trying to know exactly where to play Escobar in that spot.
Jepson last pitched in Tuesday's game, 1/3 of an inning.
He's trying to rely on Trout, his center fielder, helping him out where exactly he should play.
Wow. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty good pitch from Jepson at 96. Box strikes will show this is right in the strike zone, lower part of the outside corner in the zone.
Off speed pitch there.
He's getting more and more comfortable with his changeup. Smith warming up along with Sean Burnett.
Left-hand hitting Eric Hosmer is on deck. Check swing and a wild pitch. Escobar is called down on the swing by the first base umpire Chris Siegel, so 2 outs.
Yeah, with 1 out, you cannot advance if you're to swing and miss. 2 outs, you can run on that ball in the dirt, but because first base was occupied, Escobar will be out on a swing and miss. Now, so she's going to the bullpen. We're going to see Sean Burnett.
So Sean Burnett to make his 2014 Angels debut. Kevin Jepson doesn't want to come out of the game, but he'll depart. Pitching change here, the 7th with 2 outs. The Angels on top 5-1. Scioscia's gone to the bullpen, and it's Sean Burnett coming into the ball game for the first time in an Angels uniform since May 26th last year. Ironically enough, against the Kansas City Royals, though at Kauffman Stadium. And, it's been a long road back for Sean, having to deal with that left elbow impingement. where he's had a procedure done, and he battles back, he feels good, then there's a setback, a shutdown. At one point this year, it almost seemed as if he was probably going to be done. They're probably going to shut him down for a while, but all of a sudden it picked right back up.
Yeah, it's so many conversations. He said it was frustrating because 1 minute he feels great, next minute there was some discomfort, then he couldn't get loose. And a good opportunity for to come back and be able to be a big part of this bullpen. Look, Andy Fletcher has something in his eye, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, apparently Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire, has been dealing something in his eye, perhaps a contact lens, so they're checking that out, and that's why we have a little bit of a delay here.
Trying to find that contact when it moves. Anybody who's worn contacts, you know that feeling. It's not a comfortable feeling.
So Burnett will get the opportunity here as we have a stoppage in play to get some warm-up pitches in if he'd like. Gives us an opportunity to remind you, by the way, that MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Angels.com for more details. John Burnett, by the way, is walk up music, walk in music for Whitesnake.
Oh, yeah. Nice. We're all rocking out to that.
Yeah. 35,082 in the house tonight on this Friday night. Beautiful day for baseball. First of 3 against the Kansas City Royals. Royals struck for 1 in the first inning. As a matter of fact, CJ got out of a bases-loaded 2-out situation, limiting that damage to just 1 run. The Angels in the bottom of the second tied it on Iannetta's 4th home run of the season. Went ahead 2-1 on Calgill's RBI single that scored Ibar.
Sean Burnett, making your debut, and you have to wait to be able to finally get that throw in. Fletcher coming back out now. Hopefully everything's okay for him. He's been very solid behind the plate tonight.
Angels made it 3-1 on the Trout home run leading off the 3rd, and tacked on 2 more in the 6th. All of those runs against Danny Duffy, whose night may be done. Looks like Lewis Coleman still warming for Kansas City. So Nori Aoki standing at second base as he moved over there on that wild pitch after the strikeout of Escobar. Hosmer steps in. The first baseman's 0 for 3. A line out, a fly to right. And they hit the fly ball to center that ended up turning into a double play. Aoki thrown out at 3rd as Hosmer takes inside.
This is the type of role where Mike Scioscia loves to be able to bring Sean Burnett and have him back. Tough left-handed batter. Left-handed batters have a tough time reading the ball out of the hand with Sean Burnett. He throws across his body.
2 balls and no strikes. Burnett last year just 9 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks before being shut down. Last outing for him on the 21st, a couple of days ago. That was at AA. He's missed 134 games last year, 46 this year. 2-0 pitch. Hosmer taps it foul. 2 balls and a strike. In his career, lefties has hit him to 227 batting average. Right-handers 267. Joe Smith ready to go for the Angels in the bullpen. 2-1. Tap is foul.
87-88 so far with his fastball. Again, a completely different look for Hosmer against Burnett as compared to CJ. CJ, his mechanics follow straight through towards the plate. Sean Burnett throws across his body, hides the baseball a little better.
Got him to reach for the breaking ball. Kendrick has it. Welcome back, Sean Burnett. First batter since May of last year. Gets that last out. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Halos still on top. upcoming schedule. 2 more against Kansas City. Remember, tomorrow it is a 4:05 start on the Big Fox. We wrap up the series on Sunday, 12:35 start. Then it's a 10-game road trip for Seattle. Day game on Memorial Day Monday, and then 3 night games, 3 in Oakland, off day the 2nd, and then 3 against the Houston Astros.
Boy, all within the division conversation in Tampa. We talked about this the other day when Houston was in town, taking care of business in the AL West, getting off to a good start in the month of April. That was definitely done much better in April. Now just trying to improve against the AL West.
Lewis Coleman is the new pitcher for Kansas City, taking over for Danny Duffy as he faces the top of the order, Kendrick, Trout, and Pujols. Coleman, 13 games this year, 1-0 record, and a 4.97 ERA.
And fastball is 86 to 92 range. Throws a lot of sliders. Over 40% of his pitches are sliders. And a changeup.
This one back up the middle, off of Coleman, ricochets to third, and Valencia has no play, so that'll go as an infield base hit for Howard.
Second hit of the game. Brandon line check. Coleman will follow through. Right off the shin. Right leg. It's in the calf area, the right leg. Follow through. Said he's okay.
So man on for Mike Trout. Holy stuffed pillow. It's a rainbow trout, right?
Yes. He had a rainbow home run earlier. Long way.
Yeah, it was. 1 for 3 tonight with that home run in the 3rd inning. Slider first strike. Danny Duffy, by the way, 6 innings, 9 hits, including 2 home runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 runs all earned. Kendrick, good lead at first. Trout takes downstairs. Home run for Trout in the 3rd inning, his 9th. With his 32nd run batted in. He's the team leader in RBIs. Pujols right behind at 30. Albert leads the team with home runs with 13. 1-1 pitch. This is out to the alley in left center field. Now get down for a hit. Kane cuts it off. Kendrick will round second. Stop right there as the throw comes back to second. And it sails Siriaco. Nice heads-up play by the catcher, Hayes.
2-hit night for Trout now. Fastball in the inner half. And his hands inside the baseball once again. Good job of getting hands inside. Gonna be able to hit that ball that hard to center field. Now keep in mind, he's still only 22 years old, but the adjustments he's made, and then he'll hit a ball that hard on the pitch off the inside corner. Pretty amazing stuff. That Phantom Cam shows some great angles.
That's back-to-back multi-hit games for Mike Trout. So Pujols will bat here. The 2 on and nobody out. Albert 0 for 1. A couple of walks for him. Slider away. That is hammered down the line, but it is hooking foul. Right size, wrong shape.
You see him still using that lower part of his body well. Slightly out in front, but because he's using his lower part of his body. Great view on our Phantom Cam, using that lower part and driving it and just pulling it foul. But his ability to use that leverage now to drive a ball.
This one's pulled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back-to-back hits on Kendrick and Trout. By the way, for Trout, mentioned the back-to-back multi-hit games. First time that has occurred for him since April 27th and 28th. And that was actually part of 3 straight multi-hit games. Now the 1-2. Back to the off-speed pitch. Infield playing Pujols to pull with the 3 guys on the left side. Outfield pretty much straight around. Not a whole lot of shifting in the outfield with Albert at the plate. Foul back. That was up.
It's funny, tomorrow, Victor, on the pregame show on Fox Sports 1, we're going to be talking about, along with Frank Thomas, about is there reason to be concerned about Mike Trout having a tough month of May? And we've said it a number of times. There's no doubt he's swinging the bat well. The numbers don't speak for itself, and there is some swing and misses, but we've seen what the last few games in which he's getting his hands back inside the baseball. There's no reason for concern. You would hit a ball that far tonight, and then a base hit like that up to middle. You know he's going to get on one of those streaks at this point.
This one's yanked foul again. That was that fastball up and in.
Desar's getting some work done there. Gary Desar's getting out of the way. It's 3 or 4 times. He's looking for that line drive at him. He's trying to move. Just quick at shortstop. Trying to maintain that quickness. Coaching third.
Casey Coleman getting ready. Off the plate, a full count. David Freese on deck.
Kind of believe they're going to be on the move here.
Two off to the bat, foul just beyond the reach of Alfredo Griffin. Alfredo going with the alligator arms on that one.
That's a good decision. That might have been a tough play.
Another 3-2. Albert strikes out swinging. Chase the pitch out of the zone. Goes out number 1.
Long at bats, some pitches to hit. Just missed a few of them. And a nasty slider all well off the plate.
10 pitch at bat. 1 out. Runner still at first and second. Here's David Freese. Freese over 3 tonight. And to start in that cleanup spot with Duffy on the mound. Another conversation between Hayes and Coleman.
There's a lot of room in left center field for Freese if he gets something on the inner half.
Yep. Bounce foul. 11 hits tonight for the Angels, 4 for Kansas City. Freeze hits one out to center. Pretty well struck. Lorenzo Cain moving back, still back, leaps up, and did he catch it? He did. What a catch by Lorenzo Cain, robbing David Freeze.
What an outstanding play. We talked about the athleticism in this outfield for the Royals. I don't think he had any chance to catch that ball. Got back to the wall, knew exactly where he was able to time his leap. And that ball would have been a 3-run home run.
Yeah.
What a play by Cain. Well over the wall to bring that one back. And to hold on to that baseball as he slams into the wall.
That ball had some carry to it.
Well, we said there'd be some good glove work in this game.
Here's C.J. Crow. Breaking ball inside. Crow 1 for 3. He doubled and scored, leading off the 6th inning. Two and 0. And get another conversation between Hayes and Coleman. Hayes is wearing out a path here.
You know, the pitcher throws a lot of sliders. That's the go-to pitch.
Well, you know what they say about hanging sliders.
They don't get them back too often. And luckily for Lorenzo Cain, he was able to bring that back against Freeze.
This one's looped out towards shallow center. Here comes Cain, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Kendrick will come in to score. Trout over to third. The ball hits him. It ricochets off of him. Crow to second. 6-1 Angels.
Well, that's a break, too, because I think at that point, if there's a play at third, Howie is not going to touch the plate before a potential tag on Trout at third base. But he was using his head as far as that slide to third, though.
Literally.
Boy, Cain recognized he's not going to have a play at the plate, but then another strong throw. Off of Trout, allowing Howie to score, and C.J. Cron to be able to move up into scoring position himself.
Figure Cain will get charged with an error.
It's a tough error to get, too.
I know. It allows Cron to get to second. They haven't made that ruling as of yet. Inetta looks at a strike on a fastball.
But again, that was a hanging breaking ball that Cron hit in the shallow center field. Eventually, it's going to come back to haunt you when you hang a few of them.
It's blocked by Hayes. Maybe they're just giving Cron second base as he went there on the throw. I can't imagine. It looked like he stopped at first. Either way, the Angels will take it. Second and third, 2 outs. Inetta 1 for 3 with a home run. Oh, missed it. 2 balls and a strike. Cron, by the way, picks up his 7th run batted in.
2-hit performance for C.J. Cron tonight. Some balance in the lineup. 12 hits.
And that is hit out to left, shallow left. Alex Gordon comes racing in and makes the catch. Wow. Heck of a play by Alex Gordon.
Now he caught that ball.
Angels tack on a run. We'll head to the 8th. The Angels on top 6-1. Deliver inspired performance. And by Mercury Insurance. Save big on your auto insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today to see how much you can save. Top of the 8th inning here at the Big A. Couple of changes for the Halos. They lead it by the score of 6-1. New pitcher, and we'll get to him in a second. John McDonald takes over at third base for David Freese. Shifted the outfield as well as Cole Calhoun takes over in right field. And that moves Colin Cowgill over to left, so Grant Green no longer in the game. And the new man on the mound is Oakland Park native Michael Moore.
It's got to be a thrill for him to be able to face Kansas City Royals. Went through a ton of games growing up.
He'll be facing Butler, Gordon, and Valencia here in the 8th inning. Moore, no record of .93 ERA in 9 games so far. 9 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. I assume those changes will be straight up for the Angels. That means Calhoun will bounce second at the bottom of the 8th inning. Billy Butler, the DH, a walk, a ground down, the strikeout as he swings at the first one. John McDonald. Ball will always find you. And Albert applies the tag, and he gets Butler. You wonder if he twisted his ankle again. He did that the other day on a play at first base.
Yeah, I asked him if that was his foot. The issue, you know, he said kind of rolled his ankle. Looked like he did that once again. And sometimes when you have too much time as a third baseman, you end up having throws like that. Then rolled the ankle over.
Yeah, as he was catching the ball, watch that left ankle right there. Nice heads-up play to apply the tag.
Tell you what, he's been moving around really, really good at first base. He's trying to flex that ankle.
Alex Gordon, 1 for 1. RBI single in the first, a walk in the third, hit by a pitch, and a stolen base in the 6th. Counting it up now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Figured Lewis Coleman is done after his 1 inning. Faced 6 batters. Down low, 2-1 now. Gave up a run on 3 hits. Moore, a product of Shawnee Mission South High School in Overland Park, Kansas, and the University of North Carolina. Good changeup. There it is.
Well, that changeup is a plus pitch. That's at 74 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. There it is, 2 down.
Back-to-back perfect changeups from Michael Morin. Way out front, Gordon. And the look out at Morin thinking, I didn't have any chance on that changeup.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Danny Valencia to plate. Aaron Crow getting ready. A couple of Kansas natives. Crow grew up around the Topeka area. Michael Moore in the Overland Park area. And neither one of them stayed in state.
Surprising. That would make that a pretty good either rotation or bullpen.
This one out to left field. Moore said Kansas never showed any interest. That's why he went to UNC. And same with Crow. They said Missouri was the only team, the only college that offered him anything. 6-1 Angels as we head to the bottom of the 8th. third of the order coming up. Ibar, Calhoun, and Cowgill face a new pitcher, and it's right-hander Aaron Crow taking over on the mound for Lewis Coleman. Crow this year, 1-1, 3.06 ERA. This will be his 22nd game. 17 2/3 innings, 14 hits, 11 punch-outs, 6 walks.
And Crow fastball, 90 to 95 slider change. His velocity on his fastball is down about 3 miles per hour so far this year, which is unusual. He's usually 94 to 97. Does throw a lot of sliders. I mean, he's taking a toll on his fastballs.
John McDonald is in the on-deck circle while we were told that the changes were straight up. So we hope that's right, or maybe the Angels bat out of turn here. But so it'll be Ibar, McDonald, and Cowgill, which is interesting considering you've got a righty on the mound. Why would you go with Calhoun? It's your everyday guy. More than likely going to play tomorrow. The other thing, too, that's interesting is that it was announced as
straight up
changes. Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of sliders from Aaron Crow. He's got a good fastball, too. Mentioned Missouri product, Tigers. Mizzou.
At one point thought he was going to be a starter. Very effective for the most part out of the bullpen for the Royals, though.
Lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ibar with a couple of hits tonight. 2 singles, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Crow's got that little Rick Sutcliffe hook behind his back. It's a quick one, not like Sut, who was very slow and deliberate.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a power fastball, but he's, like I mentioned, he's going away from using that fastball as much as he should.
And he walked him. He got ahead, and no balls and 2 strikes, and Ivar draws the leadoff walk. Fernando Salas getting ready. He'll be pitching in the ninth. John McDonald, 241 average. Look over at third base. Johnny Mack swinging at the first one. Skies one to the shortstop, Escobar. 1 away. Tomorrow, 4:05 start here on Big Fox. James Shields going up against Matt Shoemaker. And on Sunday, it's Jason Vargas, our old friend, going up against Garrett Richards.
Garrett could bounce back. Last game, although he did go 7 innings, gave up 5 runs. And Shoemaker's been very solid. Rotation is Jason Vargas, throwing the ball exceptionally well. Saying hi to his old mates over in the dugout.
Cowgill looks at a strike. 1 for 3 tonight. RBI single back in the second. RBI that Cowgill picked up back in the second, his 9th of the season. Oh, 2 on the way. Broken bat roller toward third. They're not going to turn, too, as Valencia's throw goes to first. 2 outs. Ibar ends up at second.
Play by Valencia. It's a slow roller. Cowgill runs well down the line. So an off-balance throw right on the money at first base.
So Howie Kendrick steps up, 2 for 4 tonight. A couple of singles and a run scored. Kansas City with a run on 4 hits. The Angels 6 runs on 12 hits. Coleman, by the way, for Kansas City, 1 inning, 3 hits, 1 run, and 1 strikeout. That was of Albert. That one's outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The 3rd time in this homestand which the Angels have had 12 hits. This one grounded to short. Escobar has it. And we will head to the 9th. Fernando Salas looks like he'll be coming on in relief. Trying to get the Angels the first game of this 3-game set against Kansas City. Los Angeles Angels that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Top of the 9th inning, 6-1. Halos on top. 12-hit performance for the Angels, the 3rd time during this homestand in which the Angels have gotten to that mark, and it's Fernando Salas taking over on the mound for Michael Moore. Had himself a 1-2-3-8. Stick around after the last down. The Angels Live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Kent French and Jose Mota will break it down for you. Salas pitching in his 20th game. 3-0 record, a 3 ERA. 18 innings, 15 hits, 20 strikeouts, and 9 walks. He'll face the bottom 3rd of the order. Kane, Siriaco, and Hayes.
Another very good start from an Angel pitcher. C.J. Wilson, very, very good again tonight. This 1 earned run allowed.
Lorenzo Cain looks to the strike. Defensive play of the night out at center field in the 7th inning, robbing David Freese. This one off the end of the bat. Howie's going to have to hurry on this one. 1 out.
Some solid defense by both teams tonight. It's a tough play for Howie. Made it look easy.
Pedro Siriaco got the start at second base tonight. 0 for 3. Fastball is on the inside corner. Dallas trying to close it out for CJ, looking to pick up his 6th win. Wilson gave up a run on 4 hits and 6 in the 3rd, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. Oh, 2. Four hits for Kansas City, 3 singles, 1 double. That double probably should have been a single. Siriaco lines one into the alley. Base hit on an 0-2 count. Make that 4 singles now for Kansas City.
Catcher, number 12, Brett Hayes.
And we'll bring up the catcher, Brett Hayes. Hayes 0 for 3. Twice has grounded out to David Freese. The other time over to Howie Kendrick. Salvador Perez, their everyday catcher, dealing with a sore hand. That just didn't want him in there with CJ Wilson on the mound.
And with that cut fastball he has.
That's why Hayes got the start tonight. Oh, 1 on the way. Late on the fastball. It's 0-2. Angels trying to pick up the game on Oakland. Lost tonight to Toronto 3-2.
Opportunity to go 7 games over 500. 2 games over 500 at home for Mike Scioscia's club.
One ball, 2 strikes. Halo started this homestand 8-10 at home this year. Hayes swinging a miss. Down he goes for out number 2.
Great location at 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Salas. Pinckney the outside corner. Good target set up by Iannetta. Frames it. Gets a swing and miss.
So 1 out away from going to 27-20 on the season. Siriaco takes off. Defensive indifference for him as he ends up at second base. Aoki's had a nice night. He's been on board 4 times. 2 singles, a double, and a hit by pitch. This one line to short. One hopper. Ibar's got it. Fires to first. Off balance throw. Takes Pujols off the bag. Siriaco ends up at third. Eric Ibar commits his 3rd error of the season. What should have been the 3rd out of the ball game. The 3rd out of the 9th, I should, and ball game.
You don't see that too often from Eric Ibar. Hit on the line, but right at him. Had time to gather and to throw. Pulls off the base.
25th error committed by the Angels this year. And it means the inning continues. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, now up. 0 for 4 night. This is sharply hit. The Pujols light that baby up as the Angels take game 1 by the final of 6-1.
Boy, it all started with C.J. Wilson on the mound. Not as necessarily his best location, but very good as far as results. Chris Iannetta, home run. Couple hit performance by Mike Trout, including a home run. A perfect throw in from center field to third base also. Well-rounded 12-hit performance, 6 runs scored for Halos. C.J. Wilson improves to 6-3. Danny Duffy falls to 2-4. Very good pitcher, Danny Duffy, but the approach we saw from the get-go for the Angels, get that fastball early on, used a big part of the yard, and when he makes a mistake, drive it out of the ballpark. 2 home runs by the Angels tonight. Duffy had not allowed a home run the entire season prior to tonight.
Nice come from behind win again. The Angels fell behind in the first inning, 1-0, but in the second they scored twice. Trout homered to make it 3-1. They opened it up a little bit later on. So nice job by C.J. Wilson to battle through, and I think that's exactly what he did tonight, picking up his 6th win. Was kind of fought his command a little bit, but perhaps getting the right team at the right time. The Royals offensively struggling, and like we said, he's got some run support, and it kind of helped him out a little bit. Chris Arnett also homered in this one, and that was in the second inning. He's down on the field with Alex Kerr.
Thank you, Victor. Chris, with tonight's win, this team is now 7 games over 500. Is that just a result of everything coming together for this team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our goal is to keep winning, not fall too far behind, not fall in a hole like we did last year. If we can keep play 500 ball until we get hot, and we can jump up a few games, and that's what we've done.
And Sean Burnett made his first appearance in almost a year. What's that say about Sean to work as hard as he did and get back here?
It was great, his perseverance, to deal with the injury and having setbacks, and then to finally make it back. I mean, I'm just happy for him. Then he finally gets out there, and there's a little bit of a delay, so I was joking with him with that.
And CJ continues to dominate on the mound as well. What have you seen from him these past few starts?
He's been great. He's been using all his pitches, throwing strikes, and that's all we can really ask for him. You just go out there and be consistent.
Well, congrats again on a great win.
Thank you very much.
Well, Angels take game 1 of this series against Kansas City, but don't go anywhere because we have Kent French and Jose Mota breaking it all down on Angels Live next, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealer.